of them.
Free-to-play games, dude.
Like the First Ascendant. What is the First Ascendant doing the same thing? Like how any of these Korean-based gacha games that are free to play, like are they all padding the stats?
You can boost those numbers. You can make it look. You can put up bots to play your game constantly. And I mean, just keep the numbers rocking, making it look like
Literally
it's the most
spawning in
successful
bots?
thing ever. It was
Like
Destiny.
Call of
NetEase
Duty?
employees were arrested for alleged money laundering. Oh my God.
The people who created Marvel Rivals and the people who are creating like the Destiny Rising game are apparently involved in a major money laundering scam.
It feels like we've been in the golden age of gaming. From Baldur's Gate 3, Power World, Helldivers 2, and with so many great games to play, there's never been a better...
What about Blacksmith Wukong? Off the Grid was low-key a fucking banger that's still out and getting updates. Like this year has been great for games.
time to buy a PC to enjoy all these awesome titles at their...
Sorry,
All right, chat.
sorry, Cross.
From the gamer right here, Marvel Rivals developers arrested for money laundering, reports suggest. A report from Chinese website Lefeng, nice spot Vice, suggests that several employees at NetEase Games have been arrested under suspicion.
That's not good. Not good whenever you're a dev team or you're working at a place. A lot of people get arrested under suspicion of money laundering. Not good. It could have been arrested under anything. Coworkers get arrested. Some shit's going down.
Of money laundering. NetEase Games is a substantial Chinese conglomerate known previously for operating Chinese versions of Blizzard games and now as the developers of Marvel Rivals. Not
Unfortunate, because Marvel Rivals looks like the better version of Overwatch.
just Marvel Rivals, Destiny Rising. Oh my God, couldn't come at a worse time too, right?
Literally.
The report suggests the arrests were a result of an internal sting operation by NetEase, the location of the weekly marketing meeting. Normally,
So if it's the internal sting, right? Is that at the company or is it just a group of high-level employees that had access to be able to wash money?
held in Guangzhou was changed to
You'll be streaming
Hangzhou
Dragon Age
in
Veilguard?
advance. When General Manager Shai
luck.
Ling and others suspected of corruption arrived in Hangzhou, they were detained and investigated. The amount of money allegedly laundered is estimated to be between 800 million and 1 billion won. Yen, no, that's not won. That's yen, right? It's yen, right? Chinese currency, yen. Anybody from China here? Isn't it
Yen is Japan.
Or is that won? Who's yen? Yen is Japanese. Excuse me, guys. 1 billion won. Additionally, members, and by the way, this is 111 million to 140 million. Good God.
Damn.
Additionally, members of Chang Ling's team were suspected by NetEase to be purchasing traffic for the studio's games. What? Purchasing traffic? This could have been to skew performance metrics. Oh my God. You talking about botting? Like bot performance? That's only conjecture.
They view botted their own game. They're just buying interactions like it's a fucking like it's a YouTube video.
According to Lefeng, several employees have
Imagine
already been
all
released,
free-to-play
but
games.
Shang Ling has not
Oh my
responded to
God.
requests for
I wonder
comments.
how
no shit.
how
So essentially, if you're like, yo, the
widespread
Steam
this
charts,
is.
man, they're looking kind of low right now. Would you buy a bunch of bots to play your game? You're padding the stats? This scandal has already resulted in a corresponding 5% drop in the price of NetEase's stock since trading open today. Now, NetEase's expansion hasn't been painless. NetEase has been making a push into international markets in recent years through acquisitions and partnerships. NetEase acquired Suda51's Grasshopper manufacturer in 2021, Quantic Dream in 2022, and as mentioned previously, is a longtime partner of Blizzard Entertainment, having launched Diablo Immortal in collaboration with the studio in 2022. And again, Destiny Rising. And what were Once Human, right? Aren't they the publisher for that? In 2022, Valorant developer Riot Games and parent
they are the developer for Once Human.
company Tencent successfully sued NetEase for copyright infringement.
I need to wake
According
up.
to Riot, NetEase's hero shooter Hyperfront was
That'll be your first time streaming that game. I hope. Did you play the previous Dragon Age, and is that your kind of game? Because for me, it is not my kind of game. But I hope you have a great time playing it.
too similar to Valorant. Hyperfront was shut down following the lawsuit. Good God. Wait, that Tencent owned NetEase or part of NetEase? They don't? Okay. Well, Tencent owns a lot of things, guys. Yeah, I mean, I know you're saying own Riot Games, but doesn't Tencent own they own a shit ton of things. Two different companies. Okay.
You played all
And
the
NetEase's
Dragon Age
most
games?
anticipated
Cool.
title, the
Well, then I hope this
66
one- I
hero
hope
shooter
this one
Marvel Rivals,
exceeds
is
your
currently set to
expectation.
release on December 6th after several betas and playtests. The game will have 26 characters at launch, including Psylocke, who recently had some of her gameplay leaked online. All right. Wow. So what happened to this situation, guys? Are we just rolling with it? This article right here talks about Destiny Rising. Yeah, so employees from team working on Marvel Rivals at Destiny Rising were arrested. Oh boy. Multiple employees from NetEase, the studio developing Marvel Rivals and Destiny Rise, have been arrested in Hangzhou. Yeah, so essentially the same article we just read. It goes through the same amount of money. It's the same amount of money here. Right here, after the incident, it was not only Sheng Lang who was investigated. It was reported that several employees of its channel center were also under investigation. Among them were employees who were responsible for purchasing traffic for many NetEase top products. Most of the employees involved, including Sheng Lang, have no longer been found in NetEase's internal system today. I mean, that's the other thing, dude. Like, if they're buying traffic for their games, well, it makes you wonder how many companies are probably doing that.
That's what I was saying earlier in the video.
Especially like free-to-play games. If they're free-to-play games, dude.
Like the First Ascendant. What is the First Ascendant doing the same thing? Like how any of these Korean-based gacha games that are free-to-play, like are they all padding the stats?
You can boost those numbers. You can make it look. You can put up bots to play your game constantly. And I mean, just keep the numbers rocking, making it look like
literally
it's the
spawning
most
in bots.
thing ever. It was
Like
Destiny. NetEase employees were arrested for alleged money laundering. Oh my god. So yeah, that apparently happened. NetEase folks got tired of Marvel Rivals and Destiny Rising, and guess Yuji Naka, the dude who made...
Damn, it took me a second. It almost went over my head, but I caught it. I caught it back here like I was OBJ.
Sonic also went to prison. You know, although white-collar crimes are taken way more seriously in countries beyond America, rightfully so if you ask me. In most states, you might receive a single-digit sentence for stealing millions of dollars. But white-collar crime certainly isn't a cool crime. It's hard to brag about going to prison if you went in there for insider trading or embezzlement. I guess you can make money laundering sound interesting enough if you tie it to, say, Breaking Bad or something. Also, speaking of Yuji Naka, I have to share a morbid joke with y'all. I always thought it was a little funny that Naka went to prison after being responsible for Balan Wonderworld. Before I knew the charge was insider trading, I assumed he went to jail because that game came out and was awful. To this day, I believe Naka's pretty upset about.
That just seems like a weird jab in here, right? Like an unnecessary dunk on this guy.
How Balan Wonderland panned out, the game being his last hurrah and all. Yeah, I can see why that would be a rage-inducing. Okay, I don't know who this quote is from right here, but all right. Maybe that was from like a podcast or something like that. All right, what does this mean for us? What does this mean for Destiny Rising players that are looking forward to this game coming out? I don't know.
What is there, like 5 of them?
I don't know. I mean, they could just go in there and just
Is there 5 whole players that are excited for this game?
It depends on how deeply this runs, right? Marvel Rivals, though, is literally right around the corner. That game's going to come out. Destiny Rising, I don't know. On business as usual, dude, some of these things, man, I feel like just swept underneath the rug. They're like, yeah, you got caught.
No one's going to care. Yeah.
Nothing, just bad rep around NetEase. Well, that's the thing, man. I don't know about Blizzard, but
I don't think scandals like this affect the player population in the least, because if a player can get on and have fun and click on heads and delete bots and get some cool loot for it, then whatever. The main corporation has to pay a big fine for fucking up and being messing around in like bad business practices. You're telling me a large corporation is dealing with bad business practices and fucking around with multi-million dollars and not helping out their employees? Oh my gosh. The only shooter I played is Destiny 2, and if you want to include Red Dead as a shooter, I would not. But hell yeah, Destiny 2 is a good... Destiny is a great game, but God, is it almost... it's on its last little ember.
Bungie is now, they're kind of tethered here to, obviously, Destiny Rising and also NetEase. It's going to look bad. It is bad. And so in this situation, what does Bungie do? Is there something in the contract? Like, hey, you do sketchy shit. You know what I mean? Some embezzlement, some money laundering. We could take Destiny Rising from you. Money laundering from what, though? Using the game revenue to clean up funds means dirty money had to be coming from somewhere. Who knows, man? I mean, who knows?
That's the big question. That's the question that never gets answered, is where is that money coming from? And where is it planning on going?
We get more and more information on this, but what levels of dirty? You know what I mean? You're cleaning it for a reason. And this thing's going to be a gacha game too. Isn't this going to be more of Sony's problem? No, because this deal was made prior to the deal with Sony and Bungie. Prior to the deal with Sony and Bungie. The NetEase deal was made right after the split between Activision and Bungie. And not only that, like, the fact that it's called Destiny Rise. I mean, it's literally, we got Destiny 1, Destiny 2, and Destiny Rise. So like, you don't want to have it's just bad PR, man, for sure. Bad PR amongst.
And especially since like the main body of Destiny is kind of once more coming to its end, and Bungie, whatever company it's in charge of it now, is saying that, hey, don't worry, we have a plan for the future. But this is the plan for the future, just money embezzlement,
whatever other
money laundering.
It's like is involved with this, and Bungie doesn't like that kind of stuff. They think about all the humanitarian stuff that Bungie does all the time, right? Now you're about to be tethered to this through name of your main game. with some company that's been doing money laundering. Just saying, not a good look, fellas. Not a good look.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
It's not a good look at all. But once more, I don't think a scandal like this affects the player base in the slightest, which is kind of fucked up. I wish it would, in a sense that way a large corporation could theoretically learn their lesson, but they're not going to.